What's going on, guys? Welcome back to League Racing here today for round number 10 of Race Spec Esports, the Elite Series, here today for the British Grand Prix. Only about 12-13 cars on the grid. Was hoping for a bit more, not gonna lie, but you know what, it's still alright. So let's just go get this shit rolling. Let's go out for qualifying, dry quali and dry race thankfully, so we don't have to worry about any rain, so we don't have to worry about screwing around with wet setups or anything like that. Bit of a traffic jam actually as we head out for qualifying there. The cars ghosting into each other, that looked horrible. But anyway, coming into this, we do have a few absences to note. Both Pete Crichton and Darren 11 are not attending, as well as Bullet Boy as well. Miku is not here either. So really our main rival would probably actually be the man that is right in front of us, and that would be John Polainen would probably actually be my best guess, but we'll wait and see. Obviously, you know, we know what we need to do, so let's try and park this thing at the front. Running a bit of a different helmet tonight as well, just thought I'd try something a bit different. I got sick of kind of running the same basic design, so I thought I'd try something a bit different. Aaron provisionally goes P1. Chappelle in the Haas, P1 on the 26.7. We go into P2. We did fuel up to have 2 stabs at it, which is exactly what I'm going to do on this first set of tyres. Cool it down, and we're going to go for a second hot lap just to see if we can improve. I think pole time is probably going to be mid to low 26. I don't think anyone's going to pop into the 25s. But in saying that, I don't think anyone thought there'd be a 103 in qualifying last episode, and we managed to do so. So, yeah, you don't know. We don't know. Anything could happen, but coming around now on our second attempt at a hot lap on this set of tyres. Purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2, across the line, and only marginally miss out on taking provisional pole off the Haas driver. But 26.7, you know what, it's pretty good for a first run. And especially 2 laps on the softs, I'll definitely take that. Definitely a lot more room for improvement. I don't know what it was as well, but I didn't feel as comfortable as what I did about a week ago here in the Williams. I don't know, as I said, like, I was running the exact same setup, but I just didn't feel as confident in the car. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd been doing a lot of running around France as well, within the 48 hours coming up to this race for AOR. So I don't know, maybe I was so in the groove at France, I just wasn't in the groove, or kind of in a rhythm around here maybe, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, going out for our second run now, and John Polainen has actually jumped up into provisional pole position, I think on a 126.6, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we're on track to beat that at the moment. Purple in Sector 2. Our first sector wasn't real good, but we gained a lot of time in the middle part of the lap. Coming up to the finish line, we should go pole position, and we do on a 126.5. And we go out again at the end of the session, but unfortunately, just like AOR last week, we're not going to make it for our final run. Bugger. I believe, if my memory is correct, we actually got held by my teammate coming into the pits, and of course when your teammate's being wheeled in, the game won't let you out. So I actually come in with enough time to get back out and make it around, but unfortunately the game had other ideas, and yeah, we didn't make it. But somehow we actually keep provisional pole from John Polainen, Swaggy, Chappelle. Then we've got the new boy Aaron from Plevs, Pure Gold, Romeo Alonso, Danny, Contrast, and oops, screen disappeared. Okay. But anyway, on the grid,
hard on the brakes.
I was definitely confident of another win, if not probably second place, third. The main aim again was just to come away with another podium, another solid result. So hopefully we can manage that. I was definitely expecting a fight from the guys behind. I was expecting a dive into the first couple of corners, actually, not going to lie, even if I got a real good start. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Just politely telling Jeff there to leave me alone. Wasn't interested in any pointless radio communications about the weather or anything like that, because we already know it's a full dry race. There's a few clouds around the Silverstone circuit, but that's nothing to worry about. But we'll come back around, reform, back on the grid now, and yeah, hopefully we can have a good race. John goes through us there, so thanks very much. But anyway, yeah, that's there's not much to say really until the race starts. So cruise back around now at 100 k's, trundling along like Miss Daisy at the moment. So anyway, but Alfa Romeo and Haas on the front row of the grid, second row Red Bull, and then another Haas. So could be a solid point stay for Haas in the constructors as well. I think they definitely need a solid result, and this is definitely their best chance of getting one. So hopefully they can have a solid race. But for us, we've got the job 50% done. Time to go finish it off. So here we go. Awaiting 5 red lights for round number 10 of Race Spec Esports, the Elite Series. Away we go. Looks like a pretty good launch compared to John Polainen and Swaggy. We've got a real good launch actually. We're already ahead by quite a margin. And we've got a real good launch. Keeping an eye on the guys behind us. No one trying anything. John holds off Swaggy behind us. I think Swaggy looking up the inside, is he? I think he just showed the nose, but the Haas driver able to hold him off. And we already have a pretty decent lead. Cutting on to the end of lap 1, John was able to reel us in a little bit. So we haven't kind of stretched away and disappeared down the road like we used to. Cutting on to lap 2, and once again John is sticking right with us here. Fastest lap of the race, immediately beaten by the Haas driver. We're pulling away from Swaggy and the likes of everyone else behind. So it's really us two just driving away. On to lap 3 though, into Stowe. John looks for a move up the inside. Does he get it done? We hang tough around the outside and maintain P1 for now. Really good driving from both of us there to avoid contact. And at this point, I kind of realised that we were in for a bit of a fight, and if we wanted to win in this race, then by God we were going to have to work for it. Going on to lap 5, John, DRS, undoubtedly rich and overtake on the ERS. Up the inside again into Stowe, and at this point I actually decided, you know what, we'll let him go. I wanted to save a little bit of ERS, save a little bit of fuel. I did feel like John was quicker at this point of the race actually, so in my mind it kind of made sense to just not try and overdrive the car, just stick with him. And coming on to lap 9, that is exactly what we've done. Now at this point I was thinking about strategy, because I didn't want to just follow him in on lap 10 or 11 if we pitted on the same lap, because then, you know, I felt like I actually wouldn't be able to get back past him. So I was thinking of doing the opposite to John Polainen right here. So if he stays out, we're going to peel in, and we do. Very, very late call to come into the pits, but we come in. We're going to go onto a set of the medium tyres. This might be a bit of a stretch, 17 laps, so this is going to be a bit iffy. But hopefully we can get this done. Hopefully a good pit stop from the boys. Around 2.5 seconds would be good. And then we're just going to have to try and put in a stonking outlap basically. And just try and undercut the Haas if we can. Good stop from the boys, 2.5. And I guess it's, well, it's all up to us now. We've got to go put in a blistering outlap and hopefully undercut John Polainen and just hope and pray that he can't catch back up. If we undercut him, we can't get out of ourselves just yet. We've got to get this outlap pitch perfect basically to try and undercut this guy, because he is definitely, he's a headache for this race, I'm not going to lie. He's been a real pain in the backside, but at the same time it is really, really good to have some competition and someone new in a way as well, because John Polainen is not normally someone that we fight too much in this series. I think this is the first time we've genuinely had an on-track battle for any kind of decent result. I think the only other time we've been together was maybe Baku, I think, at some point, and that was for like 4th or 5th or something. So it's nice to have a new contender fighting for the win. But as you can see, there he is coming out of the pits. So the undercut has worked wonders for us. We get the move done up into provisionally what is the lead of the race, and I think we've actually just got out of DRS as well, which is really going to help us. So hopefully we can pull away a little bit. We've got our teammate just up the road, so hopefully he might give us some DRS when we get to him, and hopefully not hold us up too much, obviously depending where we catch him. Come across the line to start lap 12, fastest lap of the race, 129.9. Cutting on to the back straight on lap 12 now. We've caught our teammate at a pretty good spot, DRS, and he lets us go, doesn't put up too much of a fight. That's expected, to be honest. I mean, he is our teammate, so of course he's not going to try and hamper us. He may try and hold up John a little bit, I'm not too sure. Another fastest lap of the race. I wasn't even expecting that one, actually caught me off guard a little bit, but coming on to lap 15, we've caught up to another newbie in the Elite Series here today, Shumbo in the Mercedes. I believe this is the champion of Season 1 of the Global Series as well, so nice to have a champion in here. He hasn't stopped yet as well. We're going to try go around the outside at the other turn one. This is risky. Oh, that was so close. I don't think we actually made contact either, so that was really nice driving to go side by side through the old turn one with no contact whatsoever. And yeah, that was real good racing. And at this point, while I was kind of stressed about John, the fact that I couldn't really shake him, I was really enjoying this as well. On to the end of lap 16 now, and as you can see, the gap is around about 3 seconds basically to the Haas, and neither of us have got any penalties at this stage, so hopefully both of us can avoid that. As you can see, the gap still kind of staying at about that 2.8 3 second window. Cutting on to lap 19, and Shumbo, fastest lap of the race. I think he actually boxed for the softs as well. He was doing a bit of an alternate strategy, so there'll be no 26 points for us or John. So yeah, 25 is the best we can hope for, unfortunately. But cutting on to lap 20, and at this point the stress levels were really rising because John was incredibly quick at the back end of this race. And as you can see, we are literally running on fumes, and after speaking to him after the race, both of us actually were. We had no ERS, our tyres were dying off, and yeah, we had no fuel, no ERS, so both of us literally running on fumes at this point. I think that was a McLaren of Danny D gets out of the way there nicely, so cheers to him for that. Unfortunately, he also got out of the way of John, so he didn't hold him up. Yeah, you always hope for maybe some help from back markers, but sometimes that can also play against you as well. So yeah, but he got out of the way and allows us to continue racing, so credit to him there, thank you very much. But 4 laps to go, and at this point we were pushing for 11 tenths. The gap coming down ever so slightly. Danny D actually sets the fastest lap of the race on the 29.1, just emphasising the point that neither one of us are going to score 26 points today. But at this point I was really actually starting to feel the nerves a little bit, because I was pushing really hard. Both of us are on fumes at this point, and John was still gaining on me. I was trying to save fuel and ERS where I could, but I just couldn't because he was gaining so rapidly. Onto the final lap of the race, the gap is nearly 1.5 seconds, so the Haas driver has just been reeling us in leaps and bounds on this final lap, or in the final couple of laps. We've got no fuel, no ERS, our tyre wear isn't great either. I think we're in the 70 odd % marker on the front left, so we've pushed our luck, and we've got about half a lap left to make this stick. We've had to play the strategy game to get back in front of the Haas. It's not something I normally do. I'm not normally one who plays the strategy game really, unless it's absolutely necessary, and I'm afraid this time it was, and so far it's worked out for us. About half a lap to go. Personal best in sector 1, so as you can tell I am really pushing, but John is coming like a bat out of hell in the back end of this race, and is really pushing us through Maggets and Beckets for the final time, trying to get the best run we can through here. And I think we are just, the gap is not under 1 second, so thankfully John will not have DRS, and no he doesn't. But He was really gaining on us in these final couple of laps, was really piling on the pressure, but we've withstood the pressure from the Haas driver, and we're going to come around the final couple of corners to win once again in the Spec Esports Elite Series here at Silverstone, round the final corner, and that is another win. Grazie ragazzi, get in there. So there we go guys, that has been Spec Esports, the Elite Series, here today for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Really good race, really enjoyed that one. Great battle with John, the whole race. Really kept me on my toes, and hopefully the second half of the season will yield many more battles between ourselves. But that's all from me today guys. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more, and until the next video, I'll see you guys next time.